when I went back to WWE because of like some of the trademarks and the battles we had with Impact, and they wanted us to come back originally as the Hardy Boys because that was Vince's creation, and I always knew I was going to be rolling the dice if I went back there to do Broken Matt, some version of Broken Matt.
No way Vince knew anything about Broken Matt, right?
Well, one of the funniest things was like one day out of the blue, they did a thing where my brother was hurt and I was going to have a little bit of a losing streak and it was going to lead to having a new persona. And I'd given him something all new that was totally different. But then like one day, Bray came up to me and said, "Hey man, did you hear about what we're doing?" I said, "What do you mean what we're doing?" This is just like right when I'm pulling up TV. He said, "You're going to end up, we have a match tonight and then like you snap and then you end up going full broken after this. And like we're going to have like, Bray Wyatt versus Broken Matt Hardy or whatever it is." And I remember going to Michael. He said, "Hey, did you hear about what you got to do with Vince?" And I was like, "No." He said, "Vince needs 30 minutes with you. He wants you to explain the whole Broken Matt Hardy process to him and everything else." One of the most amazing conversations I've ever had.
Interesting.
No doubt. And I sit down with Vince and I literally take him like through my process of how I created this and like the origins and the history of the character and how things happen and trying to give him to understand. There was just a lot of times where it's like, And he's looking at me and I notice he's like, "What in the fuck is he talking about?"
You've probably seen that face and demeanor like a million times, right?
Yeah, I mean, this one was like, because like this is something he's like, "Let's just go with this because these fans keep saying delete and this thing won't die. So obviously people must like it. Like this is why we hire these fuckers back.
Right.
They must like it to some degree. So like, let's give it a shot."
Is he like, "And that made money?"
Yeah, no, he never got to that. I remember one of the funniest things I said, and my deal is like with Broken Matt, I said I was inspired to do it all because of True Blood. Like I loved how you would see Eric Northman, who was the coolest vampire in the show, how he would live like through these different time eras. And, he was like dressing in the era, if it was in the 1800s or the 1500s or whenever it was, like throughout time. And I thought that was so cool. It's like, how could you do that with a wrestling character and relate it? And I was like, well, what if something happens to me and I say that I have broke open the limits of my mind. My mind has been broken as far as the limits of it being a normal mortal mind. And I am cognizant of where my soul or essence has been throughout eternity, the whole while. And I said, in that way I could say that I was in other bodies. This now I've just happened to be housed and dwell inside the body of this professional wrestler, Matt Hardy. That's the deal. And that was the whole mindset behind it. I remember telling him, he's like, I said, like, I understand it through all space and time. He said, where would you do promos? Maybe in a planetarium?
Yes.
It's so funny just because that's in space.
At NASA? Would we go to NASA?
But instead I just got like a wrinkled white curtain with a light blue light on it that my wife got so upset about.